Alright, you guys, I'm back. Sorry about that. I kind of ended the video, so I already read these, so now I'm gonna... Or no, I read these two, but I'm gonna read this now. Sorry. My English is horrible. Alright, because I'm kind of tired today, I'm not gonna lie, but that's okay. Hopefully I'll get back into my groove when I start reading, but I'm gonna start reading right now. Well, the Lord heard their complaining and was very angry. He vowed that not one person in this entire generation would live to see the good land he had promised their fathers, except Caleb, son of Jephunneh, whatever, who because he had wholly followed the Lord, would receive as his personal inheritance some of the land he had walked over. And the Lord was even angry with me because of them, and said to me, "You shall not enter the promised land. Instead, your assistant, Joshua the son of Nun, shall lead the people. Encourage him as he prepares to take over the leadership. I will give the land to the children they said would die in the wilderness. But as for you, of the older generation, turn around now and go back across the desert toward the Red Sea." Then they confessed, "We have sinned. We will go into the land and fight for it as the Lord our God has told us to." So they strapped on their weapons and thought it would be easy to conquer the whole area. But the Lord said to me, "Tell them not to do it, for I will not go with them. They will be struck down before their enemies." I told them, but they wouldn't listen. Instead, they rebelled against the Lord's commandment and went on up into the hill country to fight. But the Amorites who lived there came out against them and chased them like bees and killed them from Seir to Harar. Then they returned and wept before the Lord, but he wouldn't listen, so they stayed there at Kadesh for a long time. Then we turned back across the wilderness toward the Red Sea, for so the Lord had instructed me. For many years we wandered around in the area of Mount Seir, not too sure. Again, I'm trying to skip over these words because I really don't know these words, and it kind of makes me annoyed sometimes, and I don't want to be annoyed at this book, so I'm not going to keep doing that. I just want to skip over them. Then at last the Lord said, "You have stayed here long enough. Turn northward, inform the people that they will be passing through the country belonging to their brothers, the Edomites, the descendants of Esau, who live in Seir. The Edomites will be nervous, so be careful. Don't start a fight, for I have given them all the Mount Seir hill country as their permanent position, and I will not give you even a tiny piece of their land. Pay them for whatever food and water you use. The Lord your God has watched over you and blessed you every step of the way for all those 40 years as you have wandered around this great wilderness, and you have lacked nothing in all that time." So we passed through Edom, where our brothers lived, crossing the Araba road that goes south to Eliath and Elizah Onber, and traveled northward. Oh no, I said it right the first time, sorry. And we traveled northward toward the Moab desert. Then the Lord warned us, "Don't attack the Moabites either, for I will not give you any of their land. I have given it to the descendants of Lot." The Emim used to live in that area, a very large tribe, tall as giants. Both the Emia and the are often referred to as, don't know that name, but the Moabites call them Emiah. In earlier days, the Horites lived in Syria, but they were driven out and displaced by the Edomites, the descendants of, just as Israel would displace the peoples of Canaan, whose land had been assigned to Israel by the Lord. "Now cross Zeord Brook," the Lord said, and we did. So it took us 38 years to finally get across Zeord Brook from Kadesh. For the Lord had decreed that this could not happen until all the men who 38 years earlier were old enough to bear arms had died. Yes, the hand of the Lord was against them until finally all were dead. Then at last the Lord said to me, "Today Israel shall cross the border of Moab at Ar into the land of Amorites." Again, I'm sorry about I'm sorry about not being able to read this book a lot. I just do not know these names, and it's very hard for me to read it, so it is what it is, but I'm going to try to get through it again. But do not attack them, for I will not give you any of their land. I have given it to the descendants of Lot. Oops. That area, too, used to be inhabited by the Rephaim called Zamzualim by the Amorites. They were a large and powerful tribe as tall as Anakim, but Jehovah destroyed them as the Amorites came and the Amorites lived there in their place. The Lord had similarly helped the descendants of Esau at Mount Siri, for he destroyed the Horites who were living there before them. Another similar situation occurred when the people of Caphior invaded and destroyed the tribe of... I'm sorry, I really do not know how to read a lot of this stuff, and I'm kind of thinking about skipping past these, because I don't know these names, and I don't really want to keep getting bored and getting annoyed at this, because I don't want to be annoyed at the Bible at all. I can't read these words. But I'm going to keep going. I'm going to try to keep going, because I don't want to skip anything else, but I'm going to skip these right here. Then the Lord said, cross the Aryan River into the land of King Shion, the Amorite king of Hadon, war against him, and began to take possession of his land. Beginning today, I will make the people throughout the whole earth tremble with fear because of you, and dread your arrival. Then from the wilderness of Kanath I send ambassadors to King Shion of Heshbon with a proposal of peace. Let us pass through your land, we said. We will stay on the main road and won't turn off into the fields on either side. We will not steal food as we go, but will purchase every bite we eat and everything we drink. All we want is permission to pass through. The Edomites at Seir allowed us to go through their country, and so did the Moabites, whose capital is at Ar. We are on our way across the Jordan into the land the Lord our God has given us, but King Sihon refused because Jehovah your God made him obstinate, so that he could destroy Shineon by the hands of Israel, as has now been done. Then the Lord said to me, I have begun to give you the land of King Shion. When you possess it, it shall belong to Israel forever. So the king then declared war on us and mobilized his forces at Jahaz. But the Lord our God crushed him, and we conquered all his cities and utterly destroyed everything, including the women and babies. We left nothing alive except the cattle which we took as our reward, along with the booty gained from ransacking. So treasure. The cities we had taken, we conquered everything from Aurora to Gilad, from the edge of Aaron River Valley, and including all the cities in the valley. Not one city was too strong for us, for the Lord our God gave all of them to us. However, we stayed away from the people of Ammon and from the Jabbok River. Again, a lot of these words are hard for me to pronounce, I'm not going to lie. But... In the hill country cities, the places Jehovah our God had forbidden us to enter. Next we turned toward King Og's land of Bashan. He immediately mobilized his army and attacked us at Ardi. But the Lord told me not to be afraid of him. All the people in his land are yours. The Lord told me, you will do to him as you did to King Shion and the Amorites at Heshbon. So the Lord helped us fight against King Og and his people, and we killed them all. We conquered all 60 of his cities, the entire Argbon region of Bashan, These were fortified cities with high walls and barred gates. Of course, we also took all of the unwalled towns. We utterly destroyed the kingdom of Badash, just as we had destroyed King Shallan's kingdom at Hashbun, killing the entire population, men, women, and children alike, but we kept the cattle and loot for ourselves. We now possessed all the land of 2 kings of the Amorites east of the Jordan River, all the land from the valley of the Armeon, Mount Harmon. Where am I at now? Sorry, I kind of lost my place, I'm not gonna lie. Oh, man, I'm tired today. With high walls and barred gates, of course we took all the unwalled towns, utterly destroyed them, stored population, but we kept the cattle and loot for ourselves. We now possess the land. Okay, there we go. East of the Jordan River, all the land from the valley of Aaron to Mount Hermion, the Sidonians called Mount Hermion Siren. I don't know these names, I'm sorry again. While the Amorites called... We had now conquered all the cities on the Pelechu, and all the Gilded and Bashans as far as the cities of Seletria. Incidentally, King Og of Bashan was the last of the giant Rephaim. His iron bedstand is kept in a museum at Rebadah, one of the cities of the Amorites, and measures 13.5 feet long by 6 feet wide. At that time, I gave the conquered land to the tribes of Reuben, Gad and half-tribe of Manasseh. To the tribes of Reuben and Gad I gave them area belonging to Aran on the Aran River, plus half of the mount of Gilead, including the cities. The half-tribe of Mashah, received the remaining... And again, real quick, I don't mean to be disrespectful by not knowing how to pronounce all this stuff. I just don't know how to, and it's making me annoyed, and I don't know why. I don't want to be annoyed at this Bible. I'm trying to just read it and get through it, but it's just making me annoyed that I can't read some of this stuff, but it is what it is. I'm not about to, I just don't want to be disrespectful. I don't want to be disrespectful to anybody who lives in these places or anybody who does understand the Bible or God himself. I do not want to be disrespectful to anybody. I just don't know how to read this, so I'm trying my best, But today I'm actually going to try to read 4 pages. I'm going to do these 2 because I need to get better at reading. I've been slacking on that a lot. So, in all the former kingdom of King Og, the Argob region, Bashan is sometimes called the land of Rephaim. The clan of Jar and the tribe of Messiah took over the whole Argob region. Okay, sorry about that. I lost my place again. Where was I at? Of the tribe of Messiah took over the whole Argob region, border of the Galatia. Riots. They renamed their country after themselves, calling it Havia Jair, meaning Jahar's villages, as it is still known today. Then I gave Gilad to the clan of Michiar, the tribe of Reuben, and Gad received the area extending from Jehabik river and Gilad, which was the Amorite frontier, to the middle of the valley of Aaron River. Of the Aaron River. I'm gonna kind of lay down while I read this stuff because I'm like, my back is kind of hurting from me sitting here trying to read all this. So, there we go. Where was I at? Extending from the Jahabik River in Gilad, which was the Amirionite frontier, to the middle of the valley of the Aran River. They also recovered the Araba, or wasteland, bounded by the Jordan River on the on the west. From Chinnereth to Mount Pisiga and the Salt Sea, also called the Sea of Arab. At that time I reminded the tribes of Reuben and the Gad and the half-tribe of Manasseh, that although the Lord had given them the land, they could not begin settling down until their armed men laid other tribes across the Jordan River, or across the Jordan, to the land the Lord was giving them. But your wives and children, I told them, may live in their cities the Lord has given you, caring for your many cattle until you return after the Lord has given victory to the other tribes too. When they conquered the land that the Lord your God has given them across the Jordan River, then you may return to your own land. Then I said to Joshua, you have seen what the Lord your God has done to those two kings. You will do the same to all the kingdoms on the other side of the Jordan River. Do not be afraid of the nations there, for the Lord your God will fight for you. At that time I made this plea to God, O Lord God, please let me cross over into the promised land, the good land beyond the Jordan River with its rolling hills and Lebanon. I want to see the result of all the greatness and power you have been showing us, for what God in all of the heavens or earth can do, what you have done for us. Wait, what? Of all the greatness and power you have been showing us, for what God in all of heaven or earth can do, what you have done for us. But the Lord was angry with me because of you, and would not let me cross over. Speak of it no more, he ordered, but go on to the top of Mount Pegasiah, and you can look out in every direction, and there you will see the land in the distance, but you shall not cross the Jordan River. Commission Joshua to replace you, and then encourage him, for he shall lead the people across to conquer the land you will see from the mountaintop. So we remained in the valley near Beth Peor. And now, O Israel, listen carefully to these laws I teach you, and obey them if you want to live and enter into the promised land. If you want to enter into and possess the land given to you by the Lord God of your ancestors. Do not add other laws or subtract for these laws, just obey them, for they are from the Lord your God. You have seen what the Lord did to you at Balthior, where he destroyed many people for worshipping idols, but all of you who were faithful to the Lord your God are still alive today. These are the laws for you to obey when you arrive in the land where you will live. They are from the Lord your God, the Lord our God. He has given them to me to pass on to you. If you obey them, they will give you repetition for wisdom and intelligence. When the surrounding nations hear these laws, they will exclaim, "What other nation is wise and prudent as Israel? For what other nation, great or small, has God among them, as the Lord our God is here among us? Whenever we call upon him, And what nation, no matter how great, has laws as fair as these I am giving you today? But watch out, be very careful, never to forget what you have seen God doing for you. May his miracles have a deep and prominent effect upon your lives. Tell your children and your grandchildren about these glorious miracles he did. Tell them especially about the day you stood before the Lord at Mount Horeb. And he told me, summon the people before me, and I will instruct them, so that they will learn always to reverence me, and so that they can teach my laws to their children. You stood at the foot of the mountain, and the mountains burned with fire. Flames shot far into the sky, surrounding by black clouds and deep darkness. And the Lord spoke to you from the fire. You heard his words, but didn't understand, but didn't see him. He proclaimed the laws you must obey, the 10 Commandments, and wrote them in 2 stone tablets. Yes, it was at the time that the Lord commanded me to issue the laws you must obey when you arrive in the promised land. Oops, sorry about that. But beware, you didn't see the form of God that day as he spoke to you from the fire at Mount Horeb, so do not defile yourselves by trying to make a statue of God, an idol in any form, whether of a man, woman, animal, bird, a small animal that runs along the ground, or a fish. And do not look up into the skies to worship the sun, moon, or stars. The Lord may permit other nations to get away with this, but not you. The Lord has rescued you from prison, Egypt, to be his special people. Ugh. Just turn real quick. And again, you guys, sorry for my reading being so bad today. I'm a lot better at reading the Old or the New Testament, but the Old Testament just has a lot of words that are very hard for me to pronounce. Sorry. It just kind of sucks. Where was I at? The Lord has rescued you from prison, Egypt, to be his special people, his own inheritance. This is what you are today. But he was angry with me because of you. He vowed that I could not go over the Jordan River into the good land he has given you as your inheritance. I must die here on the side of the river. Beware lest you break the contract the Lord your God has made with you. You will break it if you make any idols, for the Lord your God has utterly forbidden this. He is a devouring fire, a jealous God. In the future, when your children and grandchildren are born, and you have been in the land a long time, and you have defiled yourselves by making idols, and the Lord your God is very angry because of your sin, heaven and earth are witnesses that you shall be quickly destroyed from the land. Soon now you will cross the Jordan River and conquer that land, but your days there will be brief. You will then be utterly destroyed. Jehovah will scatter you among the nations, and you will be few in number. There far away you will worship idols made from wood and stone, idols that neither see, nor hear, nor eat, nor smell. But you will also begin to search again for Jehovah your God, and you shall find him when you search for him with all your hearts and souls. When those bitter days have come upon you in the latter times, you will finally return to the Lord your God and listen to what he tells you. For the Lord your God is merciful. He will not abandon you, nor destroy you, nor forget the promises he has made to your ancestors. In all history, going back to the time when God created man upon the earth, search from one end to the heavens to the other to see if you can find anything like this. An entire nation heard the voice of God speaking to it from fire, as you did and lived. Where else will you ever find other examples of God removing a nation from its slavery by sending terrible plagues, mighty miracles, war, and terror? Yet that is what the Lord your God did for you in Egypt, right before your very eyes. He did these things so you would realize that Jehovah is God, and that there is no one else like him. He let you hear his voice instructing you from heaven, and he let you see his great pillars of fire upon the earth. Ugh, I got indigestion, sorry about that. You even heard his words from the center of the fire. It was because he loved your ancestors and chose to bless their descendants that he personally brought you out of Egypt with a great display of power. He drove away other nations greater by far than you, and gave you their land as inheritance as it is today. This is your wonderful thought for the day. Jehovah is God both in heaven and down here upon the earth, and there is no God other than him. You must obey these laws that I will tell you today so that all will be well with you and your children, and so that you will live forever in the land the Lord your God has given you, or is giving you. Then Moses instructed the people of Israel to set apart 3 cities east of the Jordan River, where anyone who accidentally killed somebody could flee for safety. Then cities were Beerzer on the plateau in the wilderness for the tribe of Reuben, Ramoth and Gilad for the tribe of Gad, and listen below the laws of Moses issued to the people of Israel when they left Egypt, and as they were camped east of the Jordan River near the city of Beth Peor. This was the land formerly occupied by the Amorites under King Sharon, whose capital was Heshbon. He and his people were destroyed by Moses and the Israelites. Israel conquered his land and that of King Og of Bashan. They were 2 Amorite kings east of the Jordan River. Okay. That's all I'm going to read for today. I was struggling badly today because I didn't wake up too good, and I'm not going to lie, I didn't really get a lot of sleep last night. I went to bed at like 2, so I'm not really surprised that I can't read really that good today, but that's fine. Hopefully tomorrow I can do a little bit better, and hopefully I'll read a little bit more today, and I'll just read silently because I do want to get, through this Bible a little bit quicker, but again, I'm going to try to take my time. I'm not going to speed rush, or I'm not going to rush myself or anything, because I want to take time to understand this Bible and actually read it. And my reading is kind of getting better. Some days it's better, some days it's worse, and it is what it is. That's just how it's going to be for a little bit, but I'm going to keep trying to read this Bible every single day. I'm not going to stop reading it. I'm going to read it every day so I can get better and I can make progress. So again, if you haven't read your Bible today, I suggest that you do it, or at least try to do it. Try to get 1 page out at least. If you can, get 2 out. I did 4, so I'm my brain is all tired now, but again, hopefully tomorrow I can do more. I'm going to keep trying to do 4 pages. I might go out tomorrow and read more, or maybe today I'll read my, I think what I'm going to do is today I'm going to bring my New Testament out, because I am going to go out here in just a second. I'm going to go out to smoke for a minute, so I'm going to bring my New Testament out to that spot where I'm usually at, and I'll read 2 pages of my New Testament, and then I'll take a smoke break, and, it'll be like a little reward for myself. It's not really a reward, but, I don't know. But I'm going to try to do that. I'm going to try to read my New Testament as well today, because that'll help me get some reading in, and I need to read every day, because my reading is not that good. So thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys. To anybody that this may have helped or may have reminded you to read your Bible, I'm thankful. I'm thankful for anybody who watches these videos. So I hope you all have an amazing day. God bless you all, and just try your best to pray today. If you need God's help, ask him for help. If you need Jesus, ask Jesus for help. And if you need to help somebody else today, help them. It'll make you feel good. It'll make you feel a little bit better. So just let's all try to do our best today to help somebody out, or to be helpful to anybody, even if it's just on a video game. If you want to talk to somebody, go ahead and do that. Try to make somebody's day better today. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. God bless you. I love you all. I hope you all have an amazing day, and peace out.